Okay, so let's get going. What's going on? Courtney Rollins with the Life and Transitions Experts podcast, YouTube channel, and Facebook group. I am head of Estate Pro Service, where we're helping families navigate the probate process. Also, head of Do REI Deals, where we help folks generate income and wealth through real estate. One of my primary hats that I wear is a real estate um, wholesaler and investor. And one of the ways that I'm able to find properties is by helping people through the probate process. Quite often, there's properties involved, and sometimes I can offer a quick and easy cash solution so that they can unlock the equity and disperse that funds to heirs or pay off debt. And other times when that's not the best situation for them based on their situation, can help them either list the property or find ways to hold on to it so that they can keep it in the family through resources such as pointing in the direction of uh, legal instruments like trust and actual estate attorneys. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a financial advisor. So this is my disclaimer. I'm not giving legal or financial advice. I'm just sharing my experience, and hopefully it can be helpful to folks. And if you want to reach out, feel free to contact me, Courtney at Estate Pro Service. Courtney at Do REI Deals. All roads lead to Courtney when it comes to those two paths. And I would love to support and help you. If you have questions or comments or things that you're thinking about when it comes to probate or when it comes to real estate investing, feel free to reach out. I would love to address them in the YouTube channel or the podcast, and would love also that like, that subscribe, um, and any comments that you may have that could be supportive of people in here, because we are trying to help people through their transitions in the space in life. So here are 7 steps to starting the probate process in North Carolina. And let's just go ahead and jump in. All right. So, number one, determine whether or not you actually need to go through probate. Okay. So, there are legal instruments in place. And one of my missions is to help people try to avoid the probate process. I know it may sound odd because that's one of the main ways I'm able to find properties, but it has come so much to my attention and so clear that we can avoid probate. And it's not something you want to go through, guys, folks. It's long, often. It's it can be complicated, not necessarily always complicated, but that doesn't mean that it's not long and that it is expensive, um, and it's public. And so there are things in place such as designated beneficiaries that you can use through life insurance or bank accounts. There's, again, holding assets in trust so that the trust owns the property, which you're able to dictate what you want and dictate more so your legacy, even stronger than a will. And that would allow you to avoid the probate process. So find out, determine if those assets are actually non-probate assets, or if they aren't required to go through probate. Perhaps they're held jointly and it just transfers over. There's a lot of different ways, but definitely reach out to an estate attorney. If you need an estate attorney, reach out to me. I am connected to a nationwide group of vetted estate attorneys and resources, and so regardless which state you're in, we can support you, especially if you're in North Carolina. So find out and determine if it needs to go through probate by connecting with an estate attorney or with me, and I can point you in the right direction. The next thing is you will need to go ahead and gather the death certificate and things of the nature and schedule an appointment. Call down first. Don't just drop in because quite often the estate offices are really overloaded. There are amazing deputy clerks and clerks in there who can help you, but they definitely need you to schedule it out. So give them a call first if you're in North Carolina and set up an appointment. Some states it's you go before a judge. Some states you go before deputy attorneys who can act in that space, in that place, and it's nothing to feel overwhelmed about. You're usually in a little small office with privacy and with people who love to be supportive. Now they can't give legal advice, even more restricted than I am in giving my opinion, but they are very helpful people by and large and want to support you. So go ahead and schedule a time so that you can file for a petition to open the probate process, whether that's actually, the next step is go ahead and make sure you submit the original will if it's available. Now, hopefully, there is a will available if you have to go that route. If there's not a will available, then you can still open probate if anyone with a vested interest, whether they think that they may have benefits that are coming, or they may be owed money based on the estate of the deceased party, you can actually open probate. Now, you may have to get other people to sign off so that you can be the administrator if there's not a will, or the executor if there is a will. And those names are kind of interchangeable, regardless if there's a will or not. They're the personal representative of the state, and they still have the uh, legal and fiduciary duties to do what's right and best for the estate. So if there's a will, submit that if there's original will. If not, then you'll just go ahead and file for administration, and the estate attorney, or not attorney, excuse me, but the deputy clerks and the clerks can help you along that way regarding making sure you're approved for that appointment, or making sure you know what steps you need to take to gain approval. Number four, you're going to have to submit all provided documents. So this is definitely the time to go ahead and collect all the personal information of the deceased person's benefits, any relevant financial information, their bank accounts, their stock, the um, cars that they own, guns that they own, things of that nature, anything that has that has value are the things that you'll need to have and put in place. There is software available to help you make this process a lot easier, and I have some license and subscriptions to those software, um, and would love to share that with you. So feel free to reach out again, and hopefully I can be a resource. Please note that almost every time you go into the office or you file something, there's going to be a filing fee. So be prepared to pay the filing fee. There are times where you can, if you or don't have funds, you can take advantage of things like probate cash advance that will, it's not giving loans, but they will provide funds based on if there's assets in the property, and they'll take it out at the end. Sometimes they can be very expensive, but they can also be very helpful if that's your situation that you need. Um, you also, there are situations where you, as a fiduciary and you're working, you can be paid for your services and your work, but just need to keep a record of all this because the estate will need to pay the filing fees. So if you're putting money out there, you need to keep all track of all receipts so that you can pull it from the estate once you get to the distribution of assets stages. All right. So you're paying the filing fee each time that you go, and um, just make a note of that. And it's, again, it can be pretty expensive because you're going to be filing quite often during the process. Step number six is you're going to attend all the probate hearings that need to take place. There'll be again, you're not necessarily going in front of a judge in North Carolina, but you will need to go once you file your inventory, once you file uh, the final accounting to show, hey, this is where the money, all the money we say is in this state. This we've filed our notice to creditors. We've submitted that, and they've had their 90 days from the 4 weeks of, well, basically 4 months to say that, hey, there's claims against the estate. This is what we paid off. This is the money that we distributed to the beneficiaries. Here's the signature of the beneficiaries receiving that. Here's all the receipts. Here's the taxes for the year. We're good to go. And they'll sign off, hopefully at that time, and say, yes, you are good to go and you're released from your duties, or they'll let you know what needs to be um, obtained. But that's down the road. But attending the probate hearing is basically where you'll show that you have a valid will, show that you have that you are stepping up as the person to be appointed to the personal representative, and they will notarize that so that you can obtain your letters of testamentary or your letters of administration, which is the final stage in opening the estate, and then you go do the other stuff that I aforementioned or mentioned just prior. So attaining letters of testamentary or letters of administration, what's the difference? Testamentary is if it's the last testament of the deceased party, so you are the executor, you're carrying out the wishes based on the will. Administration is there's no will, you're administering it based on the laws of the state of the land. So those are the processes. There are a lot of documents that are involved, and um, if you need those documents, definitely go to estateproservice.com/probate forms. You can see almost every document. I think every document that you need is in that space. And if it's not, reach out to me and I can make sure you have it. If you want support, I'm a certified probate specialist, certified probate expert, and would love to provide any support I can. And also know that I feel like I'm sort of like the hub when it comes to helping people with specifically the non-legal issues. And if there's property or personal property involved, certainly can help that. But sometimes there's need support with helping someone transition and move. Sometimes you need help with cleaning out the property. Sometimes you need help figuring out what to do with the funds that are coming in and how do you structure your space in your estate so that you can avoid probate in the future. I can help point you in direction to all that. So again, reach out the estateproservice.com and the number there 919-341-1992. All right. Hope you found this helpful and wish you the best. I know it's not the easiest or thing to do, but you've been given your this duty because that person or someone maybe that you loved or someone around you trust and respects and thinks that you can get it done, and you can. So whether you lean on my services or not, wish you the best and wish you the best holiday season as I wrap this up. So this is the Life in Transitions Experts podcast. I'm just signing off as I normally do saying, let your light shine. Cheers.